Hey there, I hope you took the time to pull out your phone, text the paragraph right above me, follow the directions to make sure you are getting notifications every day about your course. So you don't miss anything, you're always here, you're with me 100% of the way. That's what I want. That's how you're going to see results. But let's dive into the next section. So, once more, I have a beautiful whiteboard prepared for you. Let's start with this side. Alright, so this will look familiar to you, right? Circle of leads, warm, hot, cold. In order to advance, there are certain things they need, right? So, there are 4 traits, 4 things that every lead needs. And some leads will need a little bit more than this, but all leads will need at least these 4 traits. Here they are for you. All your leads need likability. Because if you are not likable, they will leave you and they will go buy from someone else just to spite you. So if you have ever met someone and offended them, or made them angry, or been seen as a jerk, or maybe they even just felt like you didn't care, like if people have told you you're cold or unemotional, hint, you're low in likability. And likability is the very first ingredient. If you aren't likable, you're going to have a really hard time convincing people to buy from you. So likability is the very first ingredient that you need. So number 1, likability. Number 2 is respect. Because if someone doesn't respect you, they don't trust you. They don't believe that you can help them. They don't believe that you can do your job. So along with likability, you have to be able to build respect. And then there's communication, because no one likes that presumptive salesperson who just forces the sale down their throat. You don't like that. You also don't like the person who they message you once and then you never ever hear from them again. Like, you were kind of interested. If they would have followed up, they would have gotten the sale. You also don't like the salesperson who doesn't listen to your concerns or who doesn't answer your questions. You need good communication in order to make the sale. But it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds, and we'll get to that later. And then the final thing is a relationship. You're not going to buy with someone that you don't give a damn about. You're going to buy from someone that you like, you respect, you trust them, and you've built a relationship. Now, if you can tick all of these boxes for your client, plus whatever special extra thing they're looking for, you're going to make the sale. And now, I say you need these for all sales because you do. If you have the one thing your client is looking for, but you're unlikable and they don't respect you and you don't communicate, you're not going to make the sale. So the quiz you took, it told you what you got. If you were high in likability, great. If you were high in competence, that's an essential ingredient, but likability is even more important. Now, if you're here because you were a magical sales unicorn or a diamond in the rough, you have different things to work on. But these are your 4 basic ingredients. If you add these to your client interactions, they are much more likely to advance from cold to warm. They're basically unable to resist advancing from cold to warm if you fit all of these areas. And I say that because it's true. If you meet someone and they're a cold lead, but something about you just, they instantly like you. They instantly know that you know what you're talking about. They respect you, they trust you, and they instantly feel this kind of connection, this rapport building. They've already become a warm lead. They don't even know what you do, and they're already a warm lead. That is what I teach people how to do. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how you can utilize these skills in 2 seconds or less, like how that actually works, and it's going to be really interesting. But first, I want you to think back through these 4 areas. And there's actually a worksheet under this that if you want to take it out, print it off, or even just look at it, I've segmented it out because in your cold leads, you need likability, respect, communication, and a relationship. And in your warm lead, you need to be able to go through this all over again. Likability, respect, communication, relationship. And in your hot leads, if you want to keep advancing them to the next level, you need likability, respect, communication, and a relationship. What happens for some people is they're great with their actual customers. If someone bears with them long enough and eventually becomes a customer, they eventually learn to like them. They learn to respect them. They're like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong about you when we first met. You actually know what you're doing. And they've learned to communicate. They've built the relationship. But there's a reason it took this person so long to buy. And that's because, yeah, you're great at all these areas in the hot leads, but in the warm leads, maybe you've got 1 or 2 out of 4. And in the cold leads, most people have 0 out of 4. And that means it's going to take you so much longer to buy, so much longer to convince someone that you know what you're talking about. And so when I say that I can take someone from cold to sold in 2 seconds or less, that's how I'm doing it. Because I'm able to give those cold leads those 4 ingredients in 2 seconds or less. And it's really quick, and it's really easy, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the next video. But first, take a few minutes, click the worksheet right underneath this, and open it up. And actually sit down and ask yourself, all right, cold leads. Am I likable for cold leads? If I meet someone, do they instantly smile at me? Do they instantly come over to talk to me? Do they stick by me instead of someone else? If so, you're probably pretty high in likability. And you can also depend on your quiz for this. That's what I was actually looking at when I wrote the quiz for you. So depending on your results, if you got a diamond in the rough, you're low on respect and low on likability for your cold leads. If you got a magical sales unicorn, you're high on both. You're probably high on communication and relationships too. If you got a super likable salesperson, you're high in likability, but they struggle to respect you. And if you got a super competent salesperson, you're high in competence, but you're low in likability. So people, you have part of the ingredients of respect, but not the whole thing. So I want you to actually sit down, look at each row. You can even do this while I'm talking. It'll open up in a new page. You're good to go. But actually open up this worksheet and sit down and put an X on all the areas you've mastered. If you have a lot of strangers saying, you know, when I first met you, I thought you were awesome. I really liked you right away. You seemed friendly. You're high in likability. If your clients are saying to you, you know, oh, actually they're probably not going to say this to you, but if someone seems to like you a whole lot more as a lead, and then they buy from you and they like kind of disappear, you're probably higher in these ingredients for your cold and warm leads, and not so high for your hot leads. So anyway, I've given you a lot to think about. Go ahead, open up that document. Feel free to print it out. Feel free to send it to a friend, whatever you want to do. But sit down and figure out where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are. And when you're done with that, go ahead, scroll down, and watch the next video. See you in a few.